My girlfriend said something to me the other day. She told me that one day I should write a book about my life. And at first I kind of laughed, but then I started to think about it and I thought that if I was to ever write that book, it wouldn't start at the time I decide to start writing it. It would start now. It would start 5 years ago. It will start 10 years ago when my journey really began. It would start at my childhood. So this series is basically that it's draft one of the book before the book even exists. It's the documentation process of the art of becoming in real time. Because think about it, if I decide to start writing this book by the time I'm 45, 50, 60, I'm not going to remember how I felt after the game I played in my first season in 2025. I'm not going to remember how I felt when I first moved to Canada at the age of 18. So these are my real thoughts, my real feelings, and my real experiences documented live in real time. So when it's time for me to write that book, I'll have something to look back at. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Farouk Balarabi. I'm from London, England, and I'm currently a college basketball player living in Canada and also an entrepreneur. So, where do I start? This week was weird. It was a weird week for many reasons. Our season ended this week. We lost our playing game in Victoria. And that was it. Just like that, the season was over. I didn't play heavy minutes that game. I believe I played about 11 minutes. And obviously, it's always a strange feeling, like as an athlete, you want to play, you want to contribute, you want to be on the court as much as possible. After all the preparation, after all the work you put in. But then you realize in those moments, it's not about you. It's about the team, and selfishly, as an athlete, you always want to be, you want to be the one scoring all the points. You want to be the one defending the best player. You want to be the one getting all the rebounds, But truth is, it's not like that for most. Although what I will say is, when it's all said and done, it definitely is a weird feeling thinking about how you could have contributed more and what you could have done to help the team succeed. But at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do to turn back the clock and change it now. So this was my first full season back after being injured for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. I was out 2 years with a knee injury. So in one sense, I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for this past season. There's a lot to look back and be grateful for this past season. Even just being able to compete in a full season without any injuries. Obviously a few minor setbacks, but nothing major is a blessing in itself. But if I'm being completely real, after the season is done and been sitting here for 2 days reflecting on how I feel about the season, I really feel like I didn't get the most out of it. I really feel like I didn't get everything that I could have out of this season. And as I said earlier, there's nothing I can do about it now but reflect on it, learn from it, and make sure it doesn't happen again and move on with a better mindset. It's definitely an uncomfortable feeling, especially when you feel as though part of it is your fault and part of it isn't. And I think that's really what hit me the most about reflecting on this season is the realization that whether you make the most out of the time you have, time is going to keep moving. It's not going to wait for you. It's not going to stop for you. And when I say the realization, it's not that I didn't know this before, but sometimes, you know things, but you kind of take it for granted. And something happens to really make you wake up and realize, like, you need to take this seriously, On top of that, one of my academy players dropped out this week due to being unable to attend the trip at the time that we will be coming out to Canada, which is, of course, frustrating. You plan and you hope that all goes well. But of course, just like everything, things are subject to change. So it's really about how you realign and how you refocus your energy to fix the problem at hand. So it's a frustrating problem, one that I'm going to have to deal with and currently dealing with. But it happens. But I think that really helps teach the art of becoming too. understanding that not everything stays aligned the way you planned it. And just because you spent time planning something, it doesn't mean that those plans are going to come to fruition. And you have to be okay with that. And now it's reading week, so a quiet week ahead. No school, no games, no noise. Just honestly, me spending some time with myself and reflecting, taking some time off to rest mentally and physically, and just give myself some space from everything else, It's important that we give ourselves space sometimes. So I'm going to give you guys the shift and the focus of this week. The shift was understanding that the season is now over and it wasn't a failure, but it also wasn't what we wanted it to be as a team and not what I want to be individually, but that's okay. Talking about the art of becoming isn't about having the perfect chapter. It's about responding to the imperfect ones in the correct manner. How can you realign and refocus for the next chapter of your life after a not so perfect one just closed? And my focus of the week right now is honestly simple. It's just to relax, to be present, to focus on myself, give myself some space, and really just recharge from the season that just passed, because I'm not going to be able to focus and give my best in the next chapter if I haven't rested and recovered from the one that just passed. So it's important to give yourself that time to rest and relax and recharge. So yeah, this is draft 1, the art of becoming. Remembering that becoming can be both quiet and loud simultaneously, and that's okay.